You don't start things and not finish them. You don't quit. There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're going to do it to try and be the best. Not be better than other people, be the best for you. You don't start things and not finish them. You don't quit. There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're going to do it to try and be the best. Not be better than other people, be the best for you.
The real estate market often seems like a distant world where only an elite of experts is successful. In a time of so much uncertainty in the air and bad news, realist investing can seem intimidating. But today, I want to tell you that if you make the right decision today, you can enter the real estate market from the back door. Bad credit record? No credit at all? Do you dread the idea of having a home loan? Do you dream of owning investment properties? You are in the right place and right time because we have created a program which is a tax lien and deed investment online course of only 14 hours. This course is specially designed for people like you who have big dreams. You will learn at your own pace and everything from your home computer. This is your chance. Join our membership for $19.99 a year. What are you waiting for? Visit our website primetimehomebuyerBuyback.org and sign up today for course access.
All right, I thought I was almost ready. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Welcome to Primetime Homebuyer, and you're here on a Secure Your Energy / Primetime Homebuyer session with your host, Lashley, the real estate legal consultant. Yes, shout out to all my people that's from Georgia and Atlanta and across the United States, because you know what we do here. We promote EDU. What is that? Education. Always furthering your education, especially in real estate. Anyone who is interested in investing in foreclosures, deeds, tax liens, conventional loans, the first thing I can tell you is educate yourself. So that's what we do on this platform. And we also do a lot of that on our website. But today we're going to continue with the conversation that we had last week, where we showed you a little bit about what was going on in Henry County, Georgia. We're going to continue to go to different tax lien sales out here, get some clips for you guys, talk to experts that's out there, as well as bring you new and innovative information, because this is a continuum of always growing and learning. Any sector you're in, you know things are always changing. So this is what we're here for. So we're coming with a round two, because last week, not only did we talk about Henry County, we met a representative from auction.com. So it made us do some digging. Okay, so I did some digging, and we went over that website last week, and it was amazing. I did like auction.com, and then I showed you one of my favorite websites that I found a while ago, called Bid for Assets. But not only is Bid for Assets is similar to auction.com and some other websites we're going to show you today, but Bid for Assets actually allow you to sell financial instruments. So the first thing we're going to talk about before we go into selling financial instruments is, I think something is important for us to talk about is leverage. When you have financial instruments, you have leverage. Either if you have interest in it, or you actually have equity. You know, either way, you have some type of leverage, and that's what we want to create. That's the reason why I like to invest in tax liens, because that's the lowest rate you can get into investing in real estate. And it also will allow you to build leverage, which is acquire property or interest without having all your eggs in the ducky, meaning having your 2 to 3 year work history for a conventional loan plus good credit. You know, things have changed just to kind of get people in the market. But with that goes to say, that's why I like to go that route, because you create leverage. Now, how do you create leverage? Once you acquire these properties, and over the time frame, if you're not just going to invest in deeds, because deeds is great, but you're going to create leverage because you're going to have a property. And, you know, we would we would push that you do your due diligence to make sure that property is going to have more equity than having issues with it. We just want to make sure. So that's why we do our due diligence. But the leverage that you have from acquiring properties through tax liens or deeds process literally allows you to most likely in a lot of situations borrow from different lenders. Okay, and that's what creating leverage does for you. So we kind of going to go into some concepts of creating leverage. You may have not heard of some of them, you may have, but we're going to kind of go, this was something that I talked about before, but I want you to understand the concept of leverage when you're going into deals, because this is what you have to think about in the beginning. Not only okay, how much the home is worth and how much my initial investment. No, you're going to be able to find out what leverage is, because your initial investment may yield you a good profit. Let's say you invest $30,000 and the home is worth $230,000, but you have some major repairs, so you have to put out another $30,000, which gives you some equity. Some equity, about $150,000 to play with. But if it's something that heightens that asset, you will have more equity. For instance, if it's, as I mentioned to you before, historical locations, they want to keep homes up to par, keep people in there. They give you tax credits. So this is leverage. Leverage can come in so many different ways. It's not just leverage with cash, it's leverage with position. Okay. So let's get to it. I want to say shout out to Rumble. I appreciate you guys. I know I haven't been posting, but we're getting right back to it. Excuse me, is a new year coming. We're coming in hot. We have some great information for you guys to get you thinking and get you prepared to go out in the market and be safe investors. So what we're talking about leverage here, because in regards to having financial instruments, you have leverage. Everyone don't want the property. That's why some people go in through the tax lien way, and they use that instrument in their leverage, meaning that in that particular instance, they have rights to, or they have a lien, they are a lien holder on this particular debt. Debt can be leveraged. So that is a form of debt when you are investing in tax liens. But the great thing about it is that it's government secured, and most likely you're going to end up with the property, or you're going to end up with your monies plus interest. So that's the great thing. So that leverage that you get from acquiring that property, as I say, you can take it to a lender. You can, open a line of credit and reinvest. That is the benefit of creating leverage. So leverage refers to the use of debt, borrow funds to amplify returns. So that's what I'm saying. They're using leverage, some type of debt, to amplify your returns. So that makes sense. I have my little notes here, so let me get back to it. So what is leverage? Financial leverage is a strategic endeavor of borrowing money to invest in assets. So instead of you having to borrow from a lender because you may not be in that right situation, getting a tax lien and selling it, reselling it. And we're going to show you one place bid for assets, but then we're going to give you some other suggestions, because there are people that, want to invest all over, want to have a little part in America's, financial sector, especially the home. So if they can have a tax lien, they will invest. Okay. So that's one of the things I want you to understand. Leverage can be created from debt. You see what I'm hearing? Okay. All right. So it says there's a range of financial leverage. You have to gauge how risky it will be. So this is why we want to mitigate the risk factors. Our goal is to educate you about a variety of things and keep your brain thinking, especially keeping you on the path of always seeking more information. So you're going to have to, you're going to have to balance out the cons and the pros in any situation. So dealing with that when you're going in and you're using maybe debt, let's say a line of credit, or let's say a loan to go invest. I don't recommend that for people who are first time investors in tax liens. I really recommend that you guys take the slower route, even people who are invested in deeds and foreclosure. And unless you know you can do a smooth return in a timely manner, it is not good to me for you to take a loan and it be a risk that you cannot pay because you don't have a significant amount of income. Usually if my suggestion, if you're going to go do a line of credit, and let's say you do a line of credit of $60,000, and you take 30 of that $1,000 and invest into a deed, and you may need $10,000 to do what you have to do to complete the deal, fix the place up, but then you're literally flipping it in probably 6 to 8 months, depending on the state, depending on what you have to do, and you can get that line of credit paid off, which would enhance your leverage and make them want to lend more to you. So you see how you rob Peter to pay Paul, but I don't suggest that you start with just borrowing. It's best to secure your energy by understanding how to budget and save. So do remember that we do have an assets and versus liability seminar coming up. As a Q&A this Sunday, and we're going to give you some different top concepts about that and how to go about budget and savings and what's leverage and assets. But this is what I suggest for anyone who gets into any type of investment sector, let alone real estate. Okay, it's a mindset that you want to go into. So understand the financial leverage. When you use leverage as an approach, it increased the debt and sometimes it lowered the equity. So I told you about that. It kind of gives you a risk factor, but you have to understand the timeline of and how to mitigate that risk factor. The timeline is when you're going to be able to pay that debt back and how to mitigate that risk factor. But in the instance where you are buying a tax lien certificate with the guise of selling it, one of the things I will say is that you want to make sure that you know the market. You want to know where you're going to be selling it, if it's a demand. For instance, I definitely know in Florida, it is an option for you to sell your tax lien certificate, especially because it's like hybrid. They do tax liens and then they mature to the, that complicated stuff. So there is a market for people out there that will buy the actual tax lien for you. And you can use platform like Bid for Assets that we're going to show you, and other platforms as well. So it's about, like I say, you're going to mitigate the risk factors. And am I going to do this? Because I don't sell concepts to people and say, hey, this is the best thing to do, get these tax liens and sell them, because you want to understand your market. You want to understand the full range. And like I said, the pros and cons and the risk factors with it. And this is what we do. So let me just a little bit about calculating leverage. So like I said, it's not just where this is my initial investment, this is how much the home is valued for, and this is what I'm going to get. It is more factors that play a part in it, especially as a real estate investor. But just in the general concept of calculating leverage, you want to understand the debt to asset ratio. You got the home, but is it an asset? Is it an asset? Because you have to separate the liabilities. Now the home is an asset. If you're not living in it, you can rent it, you can sell it. Just remember, your first home is not usually your asset. It depends if you are the type of people. And I have heard people who stayed and rented and then had their first home and rented it out. They were just that type of hustler. So that's a different type of situation. But I'm saying an asset where you have this particular home, but you have some liabilities. Maybe the plumbing system need to be updated. Maybe installation need to be updated. Those type of things. So those are liabilities that has to be subtracted from the assets. You see what I'm saying? The calculation, because you just like debt to assets. Yes. No, but there's some things in there that you want to calculate it. And that's why you do your due diligence. And you always have a what if or just in case. That's what I said. If you get a line of credit of 80,000, 70,000, my best bet is do 50,000, spend it 45. I like to keep a good buffer. You never know. Maybe I'm a risk taker, but I'll be like, gotta be a little safe, just in case, especially when you take loans or lines of credits that you have to pay on a monthly basis. My best advice to you guys is to calculate within that loan proceedings that you're getting. If you're getting some type of cash proceedings, for instance, okay, I'm going to say you get $100,000. You want to put away at least $20,000 towards the payments. And that's just my advice. What? Yes. If your payments is $500 and you put $20,000 away, you literally got like 40 payments that you can make. It's going to get you through a couple of years if you just put that through the side. Or a couple of months. I do apologize. A year or two. You know what I'm saying? A year or two, or just calculating off in my head. But does that make sense? So that'll give you time for some people who don't have that significant amount of income coming in to actually use that time to create other leverage as well. So if you want to be a risk taker, that's something that I can suggest to you, but you want to make sure that you have a prominent route of bringing in monies. So debt to asset ratio you want to consider, debt to equity ratio you want to consider. So now, let's say for instance, you invested in a tax lien, that is the debt. Now the equity, you have equity, that's your ratio. You want to consider what you can do with the equity, because it's not totally an asset yet till it becomes an asset. An asset is something that's going to bring you monies in, is going to bring a plus to you with lesser liabilities. Does that make sense? So until it's actually an actual assets, you in the case of tax liens, it's still equity. All right. So those are the things that you want to consider. What can I do with that? And that's why we're going to go into bid for assets, selling tax liens on that particular website, and then we're going to go into other websites. I know I keep saying that. I just want to know if there's anything else. These are some of the things that I think that people with a higher, I'm not going to say a higher level of thinking, but really like to critical think some things out and expand their horizons should do and should consider. Okay, so a little bit about the difference between like assets and liabilities. We're going to continue to talk about that this weekend when I go in deeper. But this is some of the things that I like to share because we kind of talk about it from a different aspect, and you can look at it from different ways and plug it in. Maybe asset, we're talking about from the lender perspective, and we're talking about from the actual real estate perspective. So I like to have these conversations, and if you have any questions, feel free. I am available. So now what we're going to do is put on the screen, because I've been talking for about 11 minutes. We're going to get on the screen bid for assets, okay? One of my favorite websites. I found this a couple of years ago. Also this topic is expanding onto selling financial instruments and properties. So we're not only going to show you here some of these websites that, or some suggestions about selling financial instruments, but we are going to go into other websites that is in competition with places like auction.com that sells properly via auction, and as well as there are some selling websites that I can share with you guys, because we are buyers and sellers here, so we want to have a vast of information, not just look at not only one step at a time, but just start to note things for the future. So we're going to kind of get into that. I want to thank you guys for being with me today. I appreciate you. Please hit the like button if you like the information that I share. Now, this is bid for assets, and then this is the financial instruments section. Now, we went over this last week where we went into the county tax sale, because that's what caught our eye. But this actual website, the website which made us branch over here when we went to auction.com, I do apologize, branched over here, and then we went over the bid for assets, have a county tax lien sale. Let me see if my coffee cooled down. Okay. The sheriff sale foreclosures. Philadelphians have their own separate sheriff sale, federal and state and local government sale. So they have auctions of things that they sell. Now we're talking about this because this is all under the guise of creating leverage. You can go to these auctions and buy items and resell them. There's so many ways that you can save money. You can get extra income coming in just by doing simple things, finding out what's in demand in your area. There's some things, let me see if the federal and local, let me see, because the sheriff's, so they be probably having everything for sale. Hold on. See, I was about to go down the path. We're gonna go into that because I did do a video. I was just about to get distracted. I did a video where it shows you where you can buy like trucks, tractor trailers, cars. You know, you can get that from different auction seizures, police seizure websites. Those are some of the things that you can use to create leverage. That's why I went into leverage. You want to understand there's so many ways to create leverage. Once you put these words in your vocabulary, then it start meaning something. You start living it, you start feeling it. Like, I need leverage. I'm going to create leverage. Oh, that's leverage. Oh, that's not leverage. So we can start to move forward in the financial sector. It's not just about real estate, you know, and investing and flipping. You want to do well in many different sectors. You want to diversify your portfolio. So with that goes to say, learning and sharing is caring. So let's just get into here. Financial instrument. This is tax lien on vacant lot near downtown Phoenix, Arizona. So the current bid right now is $1,249. They have 3 hours left on this bid. And we're going to get into this. I think this is the one that we saw or something similar. Yeah, the other maybe because it was supposed to be on for a couple of days. So this is the actual property. Now you want to even look at this because I'm just kind of looking at it with a naked eye. You see this just a small figure, but you want to compare it to this home too. You want to see like, okay, is this a buildable lot? Before you go here, you want to know, is this a buildable lot? Is it perked? Does it have sewer, water? Can I actually build in this square footage? Because the towns and the zoning department have their own ordinance that they follow. What has to be the perimeters? Does that make sense? So I kind of look at everything. I looked at the picture like, wait a minute, it's nice, but then since it's been on bid for 7 days, I would have took the time and contact the zoning office and ask what was the perimeters to build on this particular property. Can we build? Can we put trailer homes, small homes? Because different places have different regulations. For instance, I have a small piece of land in Maryland, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to put a small trailer home there or something small. And they're like, well, no, you could build a two-story family, two-story home, and it's not as big. And I'm like, a two-story home, but it's doable. You actually can do it. So one of the first things I will recommend is doing a little bit due diligence. But this is an example. Tax lien. So this is a tax lien. Now, this is not even actually the property. So I'm considering a property, talking about those type of things. And now you want to go into Phoenix, Arizona. With this particular situation, if you're selling the tax lien, you want to know about the state. Now you're like, oh, it's Phoenix, Arizona. So what is the redemption time? How old is this tax lien? When was it sold? Because this is usually buyer beware. Okay, you know, it's buyer beware. So you want to know, okay, when does it mature? When can I move forward? What is the process to move forward in Arizona? Because when you invest in a tax lien, if you're going to keep it and be that vested interest, that person that first in line, you know, and they transfer ownership to you, this is going to put you in that position to have to move forward to secure the property. Because again, this is just a tax lien on that particular property. So the source was a private auction. This is page preview. You can ask the seller questions, view seller other items. And it looks like they have a lot of properties or a few different properties out there in Arizona. I don't like this one. What does this look like? This look weird. That's why the opening bid was the current bid is $749, increments of 100. That's why it looked like it's staying there, because that look a little weird. So, but these are tax lien investments. So then one of the things you want to go to is the county. You go to the county not only to understand like, okay, how old is the tax lien, and start doing your research, but you also want to hold on, it was right at the tip of my tongue. When you go to, literally it was like something said Zach. All right. So right here, this is a tax lien vacant lot on Sunny City, Arizona. The current bid is $499. You want to go to the tax assessor's office. It came back to me, and check what's the taxes that's due. What is the yearly taxes? What is the land value of the property, especially since it doesn't have a home on it? But that doesn't mean that it's going to be cheap. I just want you to keep in mind, because when you have factors like, is it buildable? Can you actually put, or does it consist of having agriculture ready land? It depends, especially if you're in places like, let's say where they have a lot of grass. I'm always going to Maryland because I'm from Jersey, so I'm up there. Like, that's where I saw the most grass. But places like Maryland, where you can do solar panels, you can do windmills, you can do those type of projects. You want to know more about the community and what it offers. So don't just jump in there and be like, I'm gonna buy this tax lien. It is ways to buy tax liens. Now let me see something. Financial instruments. Let's go back. Where am I at? So it's all tax liens they have for sale. Let me see. Let's see if we could just look at one more, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of give you some suggestions of where else you can actually sell your tax liens as well. Now, there's not a lot of platforms that actually host this type of sale. If you know some, let me know, because I've been doing hunting, and there's not a lot of like one-stop shop platforms that will allow you to buy and sell tax certificates. So I'm gonna be honest, Bid for Assets, they got me like, I give them, recommendation, because they just got it really well rounded, really organized. Now, I don't know how the process, how smooth it goes, but I really like the presentation and how much, and they keep on expanding. So they kind of like touching all industries. Now, why is it important for us to be talking about financial instruments and selling financial instruments and creating leverage? Because that's your road to riches. Just creating leverage, whatever way that you can do it. So on these platforms, not only do this particular platform, I seem like I'm a spokesman for Bid for Assets. They sell art, they sell real estate, coins, computers. And as I told you, probably later on, a couple of weeks, we're going to do live just showing you the other platforms again, or I should upload it because I think I have it. That you can buy tractor trailers, you can buy like digging instruments, big old things. I guess they were seized from places, they was foreclosed. I don't know what it was, but there are a lot of big ticket items that you can get from auctions and resell them. Yes, that's the thing. It's creating leverage, and you can do this sometimes without even touching the product if you have a system set up. Does that make sense? So that's Bid for Assets that I wanted to show you again, and kind of just go down a little rundown about the financial instruments, tax certificate sale. You can buy a tax certificate, have vested interest in it, and resell it via different platforms. And that was one suggestion you can go look at. And it's not for everybody. Craigslist, also we have Facebook have their marketplace, those type of place for private sellers, and people who sell financial instruments. So those are two off the top of my head that I can share with you. Also, there is a website that I love. It's called Connect Investors. And I want to share this with you guys because this is another great platform that I love, that I use myself. And this is for all investors. And this is before we get into just a few of those other platforms. It's called Connect Investors. We're going to go to my, I showed y'all this before, but oh, please. Why is it acting up? Huh. It's forbidden. Something's going on. I think, did I have this issue before? It was another website I had this issue. Hold on. We're going to get back to that. Shoot. They giving me a 403 code. I had to probably clear my cookies and stuff. I'm not about to do that. So real estate, I got some websites that I wanted to show you where they sell your property. You can sell your property nationwide. And also you can attend their type of auctions. So this is one called Service Link Auctions. And I wanted to show you. And these are people who are interested in buying and selling, simply. But you always want to pay attention to what's going on and what's their pros and cons. So before we get into it, just a little breakdown. So ServiceLink Auction is a Texas-based real estate auction company. All right. So ServiceLink offers pre-auctions, real-time auctions, and pre-auctions. Bidders only submit a single sale offer on the property of interest. When the pre-auction period ends, the auction coordinator reviews the offers, notifying the participant, and set another deadline for them to submit their highest bid and best offer. What does that mean? So they want them to do another price that's higher. After the new deadline, the seller reviews and accept the best offer. Okay. So they sell. I do apologize. So what they do is whoever had the best offer, they offer it to all the sellers again and see if anybody want to outbid that person. So seller gets 3-day auction cycle, real time online auction. Pros is a 3-day auction, create demand pressure, speed up the sale. So that's how they kind of give them a 3-day buffer afterwards. You may be the investor. They'll get back to you and say, hey, the highest bid was $25,000. Do you want to make another offer? Offer pre-auctions and real-time online auctions. Within the online real-time auctions, all bid information is publicly available. So you will see in real time what's going on with people. So you could get ready to ante up, you to offer something more, or just kind of bow down. Because one of the things you don't want to do is get yourself banned from any auction, be it online or be it in person, by making bids that you can't complete. You definitely don't want to do that. No buyer premium or on selected auction properties. So the con to this is buyers have to shoulder all the costs. So if it's any costs, between for the platform and taxes or everything, whatever, you are the buyer will kind of fit the bill. But that may be a plus for sellers because we talk to buyers and sellers here. You got to talk to buyers and sellers. You got to be ready to be in both positions. You got to be multitasking, two-side brain. No transparency with the pre-auction. So this is based on an article that's brought to you by Real Estate Skills. It was something that I went back because I kind of try to do a review on them each. The ones that I want to show you, I don't want to just show you things and then I don't give you a little bit of background. I don't know this company, but this is a marketplace that I felt is important for people who invest in real estate, no matter what it is, to know what's your options for selling, what may be the fees and the things that you need. I always like to have some type of lawyer involved in the process because, especially if you're doing state by state, that's just me. I'm weird. I get in the lawyer, I'd be like, come on, because sometimes things can be messed up in the rough. And you want to make sure that you at least have a lawyer if they're not doing the deal for you to review the deal for best interest on you and in legality. Does that make sense? No matter if it's one of these service auction place, because when I talked to the lady from auction.com, she like, buyer beware, you can pay more than actually the property is worth. So she told me, and I'm like, okay, great, because that's the type of information I want to share with my students and the people who watch me. If you like what I share, please hit the like button. I appreciate you guys. We're getting back in the algorithm. We're trying to push for EDU. Okay. Always continue your education. Okay. Your brain got to keep just growing. Here, this is in Kokomo, Illinois. This is Howard, Indiana. I do apologize. This is Howard County. This is Indiana. It's a new foreclosure. Auction ended today. I wonder what was the bids. Hold on. Okay. The assessed value is $46,000. How small is this house? It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, vacant, built 1915. It's pretty old. That's why. The assessed value is $46,400. So that would say to me that you don't want to go over 25,000, 30,000 in any bid, especially for this, because you want to be able to pull something out of it. But I wouldn't go over 20 with this because you have to do some significant improvements, but this is one of the auctions that closed out today in Indiana. And Indiana have pretty small, decent homes. This is not too bad. It looked like it needs some modernized updates. So if you spend $20,000 and you do 10,000 to 15,000 in upgrades, that's 35,000. You still close to getting a $10,000 profit. That's just fair market value, but you got to consider demand as well. So are you going to hold the property for a while? Would you be able to flip it and sell it for a little bit more? Just because it's a fair market value doesn't mean that it's going to sell for that. So these are some of the things you need to consider, but I wonder how much this actually went for. We're going to show you a few more on this website. So we're just kind of comparing and contrasting these different websites that actually sell property, that host these type of auctions, and just talk about it because you want to know your options. Me, I like to research. So I said, why won't, when I'm showing them this and we talk about auction.com, let's continue the conversation and just expand it and talk about assets versus liability. What is leverage? And creating that leverage with investing in different instruments, homes, whatever, just to expand the conversation. Let's see, they got a lot. Ohio, newly foreclosed. This is Stockport, Ohio, Washington County. This is 1,650 square feet, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, built in 1994. Not too bad, not too old. County assessment, the information is not available, and that's why it's a new foreclosure, and it's good they put the information up there because before the auction actually start, you can go and do your due diligence. You can find this information. It need a power wash. Hold up. You gotta look at. I had to look at the roof. You want to look at foundational, structural issues, foundational issues. You can kind of look and see if you kind of train your eyes. Not too bad of a kitchen area, can be modernized, but not too bad at all. Definitely need to be walls. You want to consider that stuff when you're going in and look at the price value. This is not too bad. The hardware falls, you won't have to do too much with that room. This one is not too bad. You see what I'm saying? So you're looking, and it's great because some websites don't show you this. When you not disrespecting, auction.com, but they don't show you inside the house. So that's why, I don't like those doors. We be watching scary movies. The doors made me think about, like, oh no, we have to put the bed in front of that one. But anyway, that's a difference. I got jokes. And it got a 2-car garage. That is not bad at all. So this is something you can do when you're using these other websites to actually start getting prepared for when the auction come on. So let's go back and we're going to just look at one more. Pretty much this just sells condos, multifamilies, land, commercial property. That's what they offer here. You can filter it by data auction, all this type of cool stuff. So a little bit different from auction.com. And definitely a little bit different from bid for assets. But it's good for us to see that because it is kind of figure out what you're comfortable with navigating. Some people like it this way, some people like it that way. I like things like this because you can condense your search, but you got to be careful about condensing your search because it may not knock off things that you really may want to see. And then it looked like you can download results. That's great. So we give a point to Service Link Auction. They look like they have something pretty good. Now, bid for assets, I'm going to show you one more, and then we're going to get into just a listing of a few places that you can sell land, okay? Exxon. Let's go to Exxon. Exxon, please know that this is for information and educational purposes only. This is what we do here. We EDU you. We educate you. We open your mind to different concepts, have you critical think. You may find something that you like or you don't like, or like, I don't want to deal with that. You know, don't want to get caught up with that. Exosome. Okay, let's get to this one. So, blog, where we at? Overview leadership, contact us. Hold on one second. This one, I don't like Exosome a lot because they don't get you to be able to look. We're not going to do them because I want to look at some listings before I sign up for something. For, you know what I'm saying? Places that be like, sign up. You got to be wary. You like, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see. Hubzu. I think that was the next one. We're going to just show you Hubzu. Let's see. Let's see if that's the one. That'll work. Whoop. Pay a little bit of money there. All right, we're going to put Hubzu up there. If you ever heard of this place, whatever links that I talk about today, I will put it under the description for you guys so you can have them as a resource. I do want to say thank you guys for being with us. These people I'm sharing for information, educational purposes only. Here on Hubzu, they do have a YouTube page. You could check them out. But a little bit about Hubzu. Some of the pros, they offer a diverse range of properties. Sellers get an account manager to support them throughout the entire process. So that's nice. That's nice, especially if you're a newbie. Sellers enjoy 4 to 7 days auction cycle. Okay, so I guess you could put a time length on how long you want to have your property auction. Low buyer premiums on selected properties. Okay, so that's good. You can offer that. Transparent bidding process. Sellers need listing, real estate agent. Whoa, charges and technology fee. Now, you see, I'm not mad at that, but what I will say is that that's kind of like the same way where I feel comfortable having a lawyer. I think a lawyer have a up on real estate agents when it comes to real estate lawyers when it comes to legality. But realtor. I do apologize, but I would love to deal with realtors when it comes to selling. Price value, contract information with contractors, contact information with contractors. You have to pick and choose what you use realtors for. So in this particular situation, I would rather have the extra fees go to a lawyer or something. But that's just my opinion. Y'all know how I am, a little different. I think different, but I always kind of think of preventative. Like, how can I be sure that I'm safe? Yeah, baby. I'm just saying, especially when you're spending your money. So let me see, Banco. Let me see if it's gonna let us see anything. Hold on, y'all. It's froze. All right, buyers. Let's go to the buyer section. Woo! We hit the jackpot. Okay, this is what I like to see. I don't like places that be like, sign up and we can't see nothing. And they even have a handy dandy map, interactive and everything. Now this is great because it looks pretty similar to auction.com because they have a map and all of that stuff, and they have an app, so I would assume they have an app too. Here is property, let's see, asset type. They have bank owned, non-bank owned, foreclosure homes, short sales, CWCTO, second chance. Okay, now we broke down the difference between these options in our first live, and the difference of the investment bracket that you will come in and the protections you can expect. Just know 9 out of 10, if it's bank owned, it may not have any liens on it because the bank did its due diligence throughout that time and probably right after the foreclosure to make sure that they're going to have all rights to that property and get it out of the owner's name. Non-bank owned, you have to do your due diligence and look for those liens. Foreclosure homes, you have to do your due diligence, look for those liens. Look for IRS liens, look for issues in the title. You want to do all of that, especially with foreclosure homes, short sales, tax lien sales, deed sales as well. I don't exclude them, okay? And CWC OT, second chance properties. We're going to get into that and see what they're talking about. What does that mean? Let's read the details, because they have these acronyms and it could mean something that I don't know what they mean by that. But okay. Originally created in 1987, the CW. Oh, CW. Let's put it all up there. Oh, I like that. Okay, claims without conveyance of title. This is what that means. Okay, we're gonna get into it. Oh, you gotta click, 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 and that is so amazing. Okay, so this was an extra link, and it says the ultimate win-win process for both the federal housing, so it's FHA that's involved, and real estate investors, aka you. Originally created in, let's put it on the screen so y'all can see what I'm reading. Shout out to Hubzoo. Gave us some amazing resources. Told me something new. I'm like, what is this? All right. So we found out about another program that FHA offers for investors. Great. So ultimate win-win program for both Federal Housing Administration and the real estate investors, aka you. Originally created in 1987, the CWCOT program aims to reduce the number of homes in the United States, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, inventory, and cut FHA costs by allowing claims without conveying the title. Hence the name. Fast forward 30 years, and Hubzoo now helps you find, live, and own online CWCOT property effortlessly. A golden opportunity for investors. The program minimizes financial loss for mortgage service and banks by allowing real estate investors to purchase off market HUD back foreclosure properties. So these are HUD back foreclosure properties, basically. And you know, just be expecting to pay some money, not a lot, but I think at least how much they owe on the property. This happens first at courthouse auctions, first chance, then online, second chance, before they get conveyed back to HUD. That's where it comes in. So basically, these are the properties that could not sell that HUD confiscated from people, and they offer it on Hubzoo. Oh, I like Hubzoo. See, that's why we got to do a little fishing and investigating. So this is what HUD use. So just like with auction.com, it's private investors, banks, lawyers that use that platform. This is who they choose to use. Properties that can save you some serious cash. This cash only property. Cash only property. So it's cash only property, close quickly, and are offered at a discount of appraised value. Okay. What's the discount? I won't. I'm surprised they're not charging the minimum about what's due, because usually that's where they start at. But they may not legally have to do that, HUD. But perfect for snagging real estate fast and at great prices. So we're gonna look at that. Y'all hear that? I like it. I'm such a geek. I love it. Yeah, we're gonna look at that. I have to share that. I'm gonna have to share that with my accountability partner. I want to say shout out to Miss Nia. She's actually an educator in real estate as well, where she teach people how to acquire trailers and resell them at a fast rate. Yes, trailers. And I mean, flip them and get them out. Go ahead and sleep on it, and you won't even know what you're missing. All right, so let's get to this. Let's get back to the type. Is this it? Oh, okay. So was this it? Yeah, do we? Okay, so we know what it is. It's second chance from HUD, and current highest bid is 171,000. Let me see what HUD trying to do to us. That property better be worth a lot of money. Okay, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 40 40,000 square feet. Not bad. That's great. I want to look at the value right now. Their auction, right? The reserve bid is at $172,000. I just want to see what's the value. That's the first thing I'm gonna look like. Okay, what we got going on here, and then we're gonna get into these fees. This is the property taxes, price history. So in May 2020, in 16, it was sold for 228,000. In October, someone foreclosed on it, and they put it on the market for 163 HUD. I guess that's what they owed. I don't know where this price come from, but where is this property at? Let's pull this up on realtor.com so we can see how much is value, because I don't want them to be overbidding. Where is that? This is LA. Where is that? Y'all was seeing what I was seeing, or I was just on another page on y'all. I think I was just on. Let me click over to the other page. Anytime y'all see that I didn't move over to the next page, just let me know. I want y'all to see everything. You know, I'll be clicking through. So this was where the information came from, where I was reading from you guys. And this is the current bid, $172,000. I'm looking at it like, oh, that's not bad. But we want to know the price value for this. So we kind of highlighting this because this is the HUD confiscated home, the one that's set and no one bought it. So they got a description here. It says great opportunity to own a single family home, oozing with potential. This home was built in 1981. Not bad. A little older. A little old like me. Okay. It features 4 bedrooms and 2.1 bathroom with plenty of living space. Special notice, this is a cash only transaction. The seller to pay taxes, HOA, oh my God, and multiple municipal utilities and liens. I'm so glad they transparent. Most sellers won't be like this. Shout out to HUD and Lien. So they telling you this is not free and clear. You got HOA involved, and I told you guys, when you see HOA, I'm sorry, you better just run. That's my opinion. No disrespect to HOA, but they're kind of hard to deal with. But I still want to know the price value of this. Okay, so just bear with me. I wanted to see where was this place at. Yeah, it is LA. I want to make sure, because sometimes you could these places got the same name. Oh no, they're gonna have to slow down on that bid real quick. Okay, so I'll pull that up for you guys. But I'm glad HUD was honest and said it had an HOA. So there's some factors you need to consider here. There's going to be extra monies that you're going to have to pay for, and contractors that you're going to have to deal with. Okay. It says property fees. There is no buyer premium or technology fees for this property. Seller has elected to pay the auction fee. So that's good. Cash earnest money deposit is 5% of the bid, which is $3,000. Buyer pays once purchase and sell agreement is fully executed. Buyer's agent commission is $500. So you have to have an agent involved. Seller pays at closing. So they said that because I think HUD is trying to protect themselves a little bit. But they ain't tell you to get a lawyer, but they like a realtor to walk you through it, because that's kind of like a government entity, allegedly. What that goes to say, a government program that they put together. I think they're trying to protect themselves. I'm analyzing this whole thing, like what is going on here, because this is the first time where I came across where HUD actually sells leftover property. So it's kind of amazing. So all bids must be submitted through hubs.com. Best email and fax will not be considered. So people probably was going straight to HUD, like, let me just go straight to them and I can just give them cash. Let's cut them out. So they said no. Now what we're going to do now, look at the bid. The bid is already at $172,000. I would assume that HUD should only get amount that's owed to them. I'm just going to shut my mouth. But I am going to show you what we found of how much that home is actually worth. So it's at 172 right now at a bid. And if you go on Zillow, you got to compare and contrast. Literally $10,000 or $9,000 more, they hit the fair market value. You got to be careful at some of these auctions. Whoever that is, just bidding. They just want that property. Now, this is a great size. Great size. They can sell it for $260,000. Especially in the market that is in LA. So when I say fair market value, you think about that. But right now, since there's not an owner up there, Let me see. It's off the market. You see it say off the market. I'm sorry, I was kind of zoning in. It says off the market. This is just a kind of like fair market value comp type of comparison. But once you own this, you can say I'm selling for 240. Even that's kind of higher, but like 220. And then you kind of get your money back. But to do that, that's why I don't like buying properties like this. I'm so spoiled from the tax lien and deed process because you come in much lower and you have a bigger asset value in there. The equity that's within that asset. Does that make sense? The equity that you will have for this is about $10,000 if you don't stop right now at the bid. Or it depends, just based on the fair market value. Does that make sense? So it's kind of good for us to go through this and kind of look at it as realtors, investors, buyers, sellers, so we can learn how to negotiate, look, make the right decisions, based on our current situation and just common sense. Some of that just don't make no sense at all. They're gonna keep on bidding like that. So let's go back to Hubzu. Shout out to them. I'm glad to find their website and show it to the family here and all of the buyback team. Please hit the like button if you like the content that I share with you guys. And let's go back to the search. Just one more search. And I think where we at in this broadcast. Oh, we have 50 minutes. We're going to try not to go over an hour today. Ooh, but let's see. Let's go into their what short sales. What they got with their short sales? Got it in there? What happened? What happened? Did I choose New York? Let's see. What we got going on? What we got going on with you? Give me a second, y'all. It was just doing too good. It had everything. Oh, that's why I'm on the wrong page. I apologize. There we go. So this is all about, I guess it was just being weird to me. Let's look into, I wanted to look into the short sales. Oh, they didn't got much. They got one short sale. So it's someone who's looking for to do a short sale. This is in Hitchcock, Texas. It's 101,164 square foot, 3-bedroom home. Let's just look at this short sale. This is an option. Person's probably trying to get out of the tax lien. Well, they property, you never know. That's why you got to do your due diligence, because people could be doing it right in the right time. I told people sometimes they be right in the middle of a bankruptcy or just before, and they start putting their stuff up for sale and doing certain things and have someone in the negotiations. And that's why we talk about what to do when you have a property and a home owner, or you're invested in a property and the homeowner has a bankruptcy or a divorce. Some people do that. So be careful with the short sales, but this is cute, small and quaint. Somebody be like, oh, I'm going to buy this. And, you don't want to get in a bad, especially young people that want to have their first home, smart college students that's not stupid. I met this, well, I not met, I do apologize. I came across this guy that was talking about basically while his friends were in college, he was actually buying properties and renting out the properties to his friends. He started with one for the first year and then ended up buying two by the year 3. And he said they all graduated with a degree, but with debt. I was like, oh, he was like, then, when he got to his second or third property, he went to night school, just to enhance. And what he wanted to do was technology. And I said, that's how you leverage yourself, baby. You got to leverage. You got to be smart. This is cute, though. This is not bad. You're not to the front looking all old, but it's cute. And it'll get somebody. So you got to be careful. Well, you got to buyer beware here. Okay, short sale. Okay, what is a short sale? Let's discuss. So they gave you some information here. It says But don't worry, we'll keep it short. The short sale occurs when the lender is willing to accept an offer. Oh, so is a lender involved in this? They trying to, okay, good. They not just letting people trying to just, catch a little jam, because people will do that. Catch a little jam. They put it online and you'll be right there getting that thing transferred to you. And it's already part of a bankruptcy as assets. So this is the short sale. They deal with actually lenders. So that's good. That's a safety. That's safety for you. In other words, the sale will come up short of what it owes to the lender. They like, I just want to get rid of it. Oh, that's cool. What does this mean? An opportunity to purchase property or invest property from a motivated seller to a great price, at a great price. So that is HubZone. I like it, y'all. HubZone did a great job. I'm going to share that information with you. This is what I was reading from. I'm going to share that information with you guys. I thank you guys for being here with me. HubZone have a lot of resources. We're going to share all of the platforms that we actually shared with you today. And we want to make sure that you have all of these resources, as well as we're going to, I guess we're going to do another part maybe next week. I don't know, or maybe I think next week we're going to upload the video about places to sell land. Okay, because we're already an hour into the broadcast, and we do have some referrals for you guys to actually learn from online platform of where to sell land. Now, on that particular video, I was able to get in on Connect Investors, so you will be able to see that. I have to check why Connect Investors did not work. I really recommend Connect Investors to all individuals, private individuals who invest in real estate and sell it. It doesn't matter if it's tax liens, tax deeds, foreclosures, small homes, trailers. It's a community-based platform, and you can build your own community. You can teach to people who are interested in the sector that you're in. It's cool. So you'll be able to see that next week on Monday. Monday I will be uploading. So if I do it Wednesday this week, next week it'll be Monday, and we kind of rotate like that. But until then, we're going to be live on Sunday, where we do our assets versus liability, secure your energy live, so we can continue to have these adult conversations, talk about the things that we were not taught in school and things that they're not talking about on the mainstream, because they want to keep us young and dumb. And that's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do is, if we start something, we're going to finish it. All right. So you have a great weekend, and I will see the ones who are attending on Sunday. Please look in the description. We're going to have all the links for you guys. And we're also going to have the assets versus liability free seminar that we are hosting via Eventbrite for you guys. So sign up there. Have a great evening.
You don't start things and not finish them. You don't quit. There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're going to do it to try and be the best. Not be better than other people, be the best for you.
The real estate market often seems like a distant world where only an elite of experts is successful. In a time of so much uncertainty in the air and bad news, realist investing can seem intimidating. But today, I want to tell you that if you make the right decision today, you can enter the real estate market from the back door. Bad credit record? No credit at all? Do you dread the idea of having a home loan? Do you dream of owning investment properties? You are in the right place and right time, because we have created a program which is a tax lien and deed investment online course of only 14 hours. This course is specially designed for people like you who have big dreams. You will learn at your own pace and everything from your home computer. This is your chance. Join our membership for $19.99 a year. What are you waiting for? Visit our website primetimehomebuyerBuyback.org and sign up today for course access.